Arkansas State hangs on in the Xbox Bowl. It's a bonus edition of Locked On Sunbelt.
You are Locked On Sunbelt, your daily podcast on the Sunbelt Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. All right, we'll get to the Cajuns, Quannas White being escorted off the court, and then we got some Sunbelt hoops action this weekend as well. All right, Arkansas State hangs on in what is one of the crazier football games, at least statistically. They defeated Missouri State 34-28. Missouri State not scoring in the second quarter, not scoring in the third quarter, 21 points in the fourth quarter. And from what I saw, no turnovers. Neither team committed a turnover in this ballgame. I did stay up to see the first half. Arkansas State was coming off the field at the end of the first. I waited to see if anybody scored at the first half, and they didn't. Of course, the end of the first half takes forever. And it was 24-7. And you look how these stats match up on 24-7 Arkansas State. And it's a crazy stat. Okay. So Missouri State actually outgains Arkansas State by a little bit, 396 to 359. But that's not the crazy stat. That's 40 yards. That's no big deal. Here's the crazy statistic. Missouri State had possession of the ball for almost 2-1. You never see that without turnovers being involved. 39 minutes and 7 seconds to 20 minutes and 53 seconds. So then I started going through the Arkansas State drives, and they just don't last very long at all. Arkansas State touchdown drive, 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Touchdown drive, 1 minute, 10 seconds. Touchdown drive. This was Missouri State, 234. Arkansas State adds a field goal, 237. Arkansas State has a touchdown, 129. They started with the third quarter with a touchdown, 151. Unbelievable. Their field goal, their final score was 203. Oh, that's crazy. So it sounds ridiculous, but the offense wasn't taking long enough. The defense was exhausted in the fourth quarter. And then, there's two sides of that coin, right? I guess there was a fumble. It said no fumbles on the stats. What I was looking at. But Missouri State did fumble the ball, but Arkansas State only got one first down. They didn't do anything with it. They had it for 2 minutes and 12 seconds. You can kind of put the game away right then and there. But Missouri State ends up scoring a touchdown in 1 minute and 23 seconds, and then they scored a touchdown 1 minute and 26 seconds very late in the fourth quarter. So my guy, George Sedano, who I knew from Miami a long time ago, he got the whole Fun Belt in one ball game. He may have done some Sun Belt games this year. I'm not sure. But also kind of a cozy stadium, the Cowboys practice facility. Holy cow. But it ends up being a good ball game. Obviously, Ryan Beard, Missouri State's coach in Coastal Carolina, so he's not there. So they're without their head coach, and they got off to a shaky start. They're a little nervous and, fell behind by 24-7 and, fell too far behind. Although, again, it comes down to an onside kick, and it wasn't like if they recover the onside kick, they need a miracle. They had 1 minute 50 to go. They had plenty of time. All right, checking out the stats for Arkansas State. Jaylen Raynor, 17 out of 31, 3 touchdowns. I should mention Arkansas State's defense although exhausted, did have 8 sacks in the game. All right. So they came up big time and time again. Corey Rucker ends his college career with over 4,000 yards, and what a ball game. 6 catches, 166 yards, had a 71-yard touchdown reception. All right. And that's Chauncey Cobb, 4 catches, 30 yards. He also caught a touchdown. And then Manelli, who had a big ball game, returning kicks and punts and everything like that, he caught a touchdown pass as well. All right. So Arkansas State makes it 2 in a row. And as Butch Jones said, we're never going to apologize for winning, and I don't think you have to, right? A game is 4 quarters unless it goes to overtime, and you hang on at the end. We see this all the time. Doesn't matter what level it is or what sport it is a lot of times, right? South Alabama was getting killed by ULM, but we just figured ULM was not going to stay hot from 3. Didn't think they'd go, scoreless for 3 minutes and 16 seconds at the end of the game, but they did. We saw it the Bills Patriots. It was 21-0, and I'm a Pats fan, and I didn't think the Bills were going to win, but I certainly knew they were going to make a run because that's sports. That's what happens. Momentum, I guess. I don't know how much I believe in that, but it happens all the time. And so you hear this all the time. Missouri State ran out of time. They just ran out of time. If there's 5 minutes left in that game, maybe they get a stop and they go down and win it. But I think the big question is now, what does Jaylen Raynor do? Butch talked about the culture that they built there, the family that they have there. I think Corey is out of eligibility, although you never know with the NCAA. We'll see what Jacques Cross is going to do. Hurt running back. I guess he could come back. He got hurt early on in the season. And we'll see what Jaylen Raynor is going to do. I mean, that's the biggest question. We've seen some guys from South Alabama and Southern Miss. Obviously, Colton Joseph is moving on. So these guys are just starting to hit the portal. I did not notice any Arkansas State guys hitting the portal on Friday, but that's all of one day. We'll see what happens Saturday. And, they have a couple of weeks, right? And then you still have a couple of weeks to talk them out of it. All right. I think Corey Rucker left and came back, didn't he? Isn't that what happened? Something like that. But, solid season for Arkansas State. Obviously, not as much as not as good as I thought. But we'll try that again. They weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. All right. I thought they could have been much better. They pulled out some wins that they probably shouldn't have had. And then they maybe lost some games the same way. So I guess it all evens out, and that's how you get to be 7-6. All right. Let's move on. Ragin Cajuns basketball is looking at their worst season in school history. And it didn't look very good Wednesday night, or I guess it would have been Thursday night in Hattiesburg. We'll talk about that next, right after I tell you about Wayfair and FanDuel. The holidays always show up faster than we expect. And if you're still putting together gifts, last-minute decor, or getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered. Whether you need a quick room refresh, new bedding, or those final seasonal touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. Wayfair truly is your one-stop shop for everything. With decor, furniture, kitchen essentials, and gifts for every style and every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. Their selection is huge. Bedding, decor, kitchen gear, kids' room updates. I was able to find everything in one place. And as you guys know, let's see if we do it right. We do it right. Nope. Shelves back there and the desk. I got it from Wayfair. So easy to shop by style. It helps you pick pieces that actually fit your home instead of guessing. The Wayfair items you order will instantly refresh your space without a big project. It's the best way to get your home holiday ready without running around to different stores. Get last-minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. And FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. Receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover or a ridiculous call from the official. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as the guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Wait to hear the line on one of these Sunbelt basketball games later today. Could not believe it. We'll get to that here in a minute. All right, Dave Schultz, Lockdown Sunbelt, your teams every day. All right. Cajuns are in the midst of a awful season. They started out 1-10. They do have some injuries, but very early on, it was clear they don't have any size and they can't shoot the ball. And free throw shooting is bad. So that's not a great mixture. They fell behind Southern Miss 24-17. And we want to send our condolences to Jay Ladner. I like that he took responsibility. I'm not sure he has to. But Jay Ladner's father just passed away. And he admitted that I probably have not been as focused as I need to be to get these guys ready to play, right? I think his father passed away, and they had to play Ole Miss the next day. And his mother goes, "No, you're coaching. Sorry. That's not up for debate." So he went to coach. A couple of days later, he's coaching the Cajuns. Not making excuses. He's giving you reasons. All right. And so he doesn't think he was as focused as you can imagine if your father passes away. So Southern Miss didn't play all that well in this ball game. They certainly didn't shoot it all that well. Cajuns fell behind with another spectacular offensive output in the first half with 17 points, 24-17. But they did make it a ball game, actually, throughout the second half. But they could not tie. They could not tie the score. They got it within one numerous times. So it's 24-17, right? And so they got it to, let's see here. Where are we? We got it to 38-37. All right. It got to 43-42. And then they started to pull away because of what happened next. So they had it down to 1 point a couple of times. And then, let me see. Again, it wasn't. I tried to watch the game. Let's see. Final score was 62-54. All right, let's get that out of the way. Southern Miss wins. They're 1-0 in the Sun Belt. It would have been Devion Laverne, who went to the bucket and drove to the bucket, and Quannas White thought he got fouled. Now, I'll give you my honest assessment. I didn't think the big guy fouled him for Southern Miss. Did a really good job of keeping his arms up. A lot of times, they bring him down and put him back up, but he did not, okay? Now, on the replay, what I could not tell was if the guard coming from the backside swiped Laverne on the arms, and that's what put him down to the ground, okay? Now, the play-by-play guys for Southern Miss said there was plenty of contact, and there was contact between Laverne and Southern Miss's post player, but I didn't think that was a foul. Now, whether he's fouled on the arm, and that's what knocked him down, the replays did not show that clearly. Quannas White thought he did, all right, and emphatically told the officials that, all right. Here's the thing. Obviously, the pressure is getting to Quannas White. That is going to be a byproduct of being 1-10 at the time. There are times to light a fire under your team, all right. I don't think that was one of them. It was 48-44. Let's see where those no, it's 50-44. 50-44. And that's when Israel Hart makes a couple of free throws from the technicals. Okay, it's 50-44 with 2 minutes left to go. Now, the shot clock hadn't reset because the ball didn't hit the rim, but the Cajuns still had the ball with a chance to, about 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock, had a chance to cut it to 4 or 3 if they hit a 3. That's not the time to light the fire under the team, right? It's early in the second half. All right. Maybe that's when you do it. Okay. Southern Miss fans said the referees asked the police to help them off the court. I wasn't there. You have Ragin Review saying it's finally nice to have a coach with that passion. We saw that out of Bob more than we need to remember. All right. When he thought he was wronged, that's the thing. He was kind of even keeled, which is what I liked about him. But, he let the other team know about it, got into it with Tennessee, right? In the NCAA tournament. Him and Ron Hunter they're going back and forth. He got into it plenty. Although I don't remember Bob ever getting kicked out of the game. All right. Having said all of that, from what I saw, the season low for wins is 7 for the Cajuns. Is that where we're going? Because I don't know how many games they're going to win this year. I don't know who's coming back injury-wise. I presume Quannas White survives a 5-win season, but can you? That's crazy. And he's been an assistant coach a long time. And, when someone like a Brian Hodgson comes in there and has back-to-back years, I know his team wasn't as banged up as what the Cajuns are, but, in 2 years has spectacular seasons, doesn't quite get to the NCAA tournament because he doesn't win the Sun Belt Conference Championship, takes his job to USF. The Cajuns need some wins. They need some wins. And it's not pretty. They can't shoot. They don't have inside presence. Fouls were going to be lopsided in favor of Southern Miss. So the free throws were lopsided in favor of Southern Miss. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way it is all season long because the Cajuns don't have that ability to go inside. It's going to be a long season for Ragin Cajuns. And did I see someone post, is this true? The Cajuns, the women, not much. One isn't much, but they've won one ball game. Cajuns women haven't won a ball game yet either. And there is some serious pressure coming on the baseball and softball team. Softball team had a year to get over it. We'll see what happens in full season. There were some issues last year that I was told about that I won't share. And I think the excuses are over for Dags. You got to compete for a Sun Belt championship. Winning it is one thing. Competing for it is another. Plus, if you compete for it, you're probably going to end up in the NCAA tournament. But we'll see. It has not been. I think the football team, that is for the Cajuns. I take a lot of positive away from that. I know it's not where you want to be, but 3-9 is not where they wanted to be. But they ended up in a bowl game. All right. And I love the leadership that Des shows. Quannas White is learning on the job. And he's learning it. It's very tough. Very tough. All right. Elsewhere, just to make sure we got it in, we did it on the instant recap. Who else went? Georgia Southern did beat Georgia State on, hold on a second. There we go. 90-67. And App State, now in a couple in a row, 67-49. So remember that there was Wednesday ball games and Thursday ball games. So the Wednesday teams get an extra day because everyone's playing on Saturday, playing later today. Let's check out and preview what's coming up on the hardwood in the Sun Belt. We will do that right after I tell you about Rocket Money. Ever feel like your money is just disappearing each month? Happens fast. A few subscriptions here and impulse buy there, and suddenly the numbers in your bank account don't match the numbers in your head. Rocket Money helps you get clarity, track every dollar, and stay in control of your finances, because managing your money shouldn't feel like a second job. Rocket Money does the heavy lifting so you can save more time and stress less. Rocket Money finds subscriptions you forgot you're paying for and helps you clean them up quickly. Seeing all of your spending on one dashboard makes it easier to understand where your money is going. Having the app find good times to save each month keeps you consistent with your financial goals. Take control of your finances and cancel your unwanted subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. rocketmoney.com/lockedon. All right, Dave Schultz, Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Okay. Let's do basketball, and we'll recap it with the travel plans during the JMU game. We'll do that at the end. All right, so on Saturday, full slate, all 14 teams are playing, and each playing. Okay. South Alabama taking on Texas State. Some of these lines I do not understand. This is another crazy basketball line. All right. Texas State just got run out of the gym by Arkansas State, 89-70 at home. Okay. South Alabama comes in 9-3, struggled with ULM. I get it. All right. Played in 2 overtimes. I get it. But they're 9-3, and they came back down from an 18-point halftime deficit, scored 14 in a row just to get it to overtime, and Texas State is favored by 1.5. That's crazy to me. I don't get it. That is nuts. All right. I would take South Alabama in that ball game in a big way. All right. App State hosting Georgia State. App is 10.5-point favorites. Georgia State just got their first win like 2 games ago, something like that. Actually, not their first win, their second win. They played pretty well, actually. But App State, all of a sudden, I said 2 in a row. Have they won more than that? They've actually won 4 in a row, all right, including East Carolina and High Point. Okay. So all of a sudden, App State is playing a little bit better. Troy hosting Marshall. This is a good ball game. Troy, 4.5 points favorite. Probably take the Trojans at home. Marshall will not be an easy ball game at all. ODU is all of a sudden, they got a big win over JMU, although they're just 4-8. They're 1-0 in the Sun Belt. ODU 5.5-point favorite over Coastal Carolina. I'll take the home team. Monroe, ULM, a 1.5-point favorite. I'm sorry. The Cajuns are 1.5-point favorites over Monroe in Monroe. The Cajuns have lost 10 in a row. They are favored on the road against Monroe, who just put up 71 points in regulation, 92 points in double overtime. Monroe is going to have to reevaluate themselves if they lose this ball game. Not that Monroe is, Duke or anything like that, but they're 3-9. It's not, I guess, all that much better than 1-11. But Monroe should win this basketball game. The way they played against South Alabama, outside of the last 3 minutes of regulation, they should win this ball game. All right. Arkansas State is on the road against Southern Miss. This is a good ball game. All right. This is a tough one to call. This is a toss-up. You'd have to really look into it, which one you would take. Arkansas State 8-4. They've won some tough ball games on the road. They're taking on Southern Miss. See if Jay Ladner is more focused with more time. 7-5. This is a tough ball game. That game could go either way. Georgia Southern, they're 2.5-point favorites hosting James Madison. Feels like James Madison's season's going in one direction. Georgia Southern's going in the other. They've won 6 in a row, including La Tech, including West Georgia and Georgia State. So they've won 6 straight. Georgia Southern going for their 7th straight victory. I'm going to take Georgia Southern at home. James Madison has not played particularly well, losing to Old Dominion, beating Norfolk State by 1, and beating NC Central by 5, losing to George Mason by 16. So it has not been good lately for JMU. All right. Okay. We are headed home to Central New York. Took a couple of days off Sunday, Monday. And then I think I had Tuesday, Wednesday, and Christmas off, obviously. But the distillery closes like 4 days a year, and Christmas is one of them. Christmas Eve may be one too. So I have a couple of days off there. So I took a couple of days to go home. Cheapy ticket. I took advantage of it. So we're going to spend some time with Mama Schultz. She's cooking the potato latkes for the Hanukkah party that she's having with her friends that I get to be the beneficiary of. However, that's not the point. The point is the flight takes off, if on time, at 7:24 p.m. JMU and Oregon kick off allegedly at 7:30 p.m. I will have to buy the internet. We'll have to fess up for the internet on the airline. Hopefully it works. A lot of times it doesn't, but hopefully it does. My flight to Syracuse in connection doesn't take off till 10:40. So there's a chance that game could be done. All right. And so we'll hop on. We'll do something live very quickly. If I can, probably do something live walking through the airport in Charlotte. I got plenty of time to walk through the airport in Charlotte. So we will be there. We're staying through. We're going to fly on Christmas. So hopefully the weather's good and the airports are empty. And again, the highlight coming back is going to be Garrett's popcorn in Chicago. I'm going to get a really big bag of Garrett's caramel popcorn in Chicago. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. We'll still be doing it. Obviously, I will have a reaction show on Sunday, but you're going to have to give me a chance to get up. I think I have an Orange Theory class at 8, but we'll have something up before noon on Sunday, reaction show. And then we'll have more on Monday, but I won't miss any time here. We'll still have one. If I can get an interview from a coach this week, a new coach, we may have a nice Christmas episode that we could have while everyone's enjoying their holiday. But otherwise, enjoy the football. I'm still picking JMU. They're going to shock it. All right. And again, 90%, well, maybe not 90%, but 75% of the people in the comments have been very nice. Some guy named Elijah has taken over. I appreciate it. He is commenting the whole time, so he's having some fun. All in good fun. I'm hoping. I think JMU is going to give him a good game. And the thing is, if it stays close, the longer it stays close, the better shot they have, because the more nervous Oregon is going to be, because they just have not been in too many close games this year, and especially in a ball game where they are favored by 20 points, 20 and a half points. All right, so next time we'll talk with you will be from a lovely Central New York. All right, everybody, enjoy the football. Once again, you've been watching and listening to Locked On Sunbelt, your teams every day. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you again on Sunday.